I do think that all of these castings are really good for the movie. Number one is this. Um, the reason why I believe James Gunn didn't put any, like Hal Jordan or John Stewart or any of these main characters is because of the fact that he's working on a intro for those characters. Number one, and number two, I think all of these characters in the DCU and Superman Legacy is to honestly just show us that the DCU is a vast universe and that Superman isn't going to be able to just fly to all of these planets and they're just going to be empty like we have seen before. And also that, the Superman Legacy movie is going to be something where it's just one character where we only see them, kind of like what Man of Steel did. Now, Zack Snyder did a good job of covering it with, where with us seeing some of the scenes in BVS and then Wonder Woman talking about it, and then even seeing like the Flash, talk about it as well. I mean, we saw a scene in the Flash when he was trying to save a child from his father during the big battle with Zod. So Zack Snyder did a good job of covering it, but in real time, we were going to see that this is a vast DCU. So I don't know if Guy Gardner is going to play a big role. I think it's going to be something where Superman might have a short interaction with one of the Green Lanterns. But I think right now, Guy Gardner is most likely the main Green Lantern for Earth because Hal Jordan and John Stewart have not been chosen yet. And I think that is a perfect way to introduce Hal Jordan. I don't want to see a finished Hal Jordan. I want his origin redone in live action. I also want to see John Stewart's origin redone in live action as well. So using someone like Guy Gardner, now me personally, I would have liked Alan Scott, but that's just me. But using Guy Gardner to kind of, just kind of show us that, the Green Lantern Corps do exist and they're active in this DCU, I'm very happy about. Now with Hawkgirl, I don't believe that we're going to see Hawkgirl on Earth. That's my theory and opinion. I think we're going to run into them somehow. I don't think this is going to be the Hawkgirl that we've seen in the original DC animated shows. I think this is going to be a reincarnation of her, kind of what we've in the comics. I've talked about that 1,000 times, right? That after they die, they reincarnate every time, and so Hawkman and Hawkgirl has had this long lasting love battle for hundreds and thousands of years. I think this is going to be a reincarnation of her character, and I think we are either going to see kind of like the origin of that happened during this movie, or she'll already be a hero, because James Gunn did say this one thing, that when Superman is in this movie, he's not the only hero, that a lot of people have already announced themselves as heroes playing a role with the government. Because before anything, Mr. Terrific is a scientist. He's like, a lot of people forget, Mr. Terrific is one of the smartest people in the DC comic universe. He is a freaking genius, and he's always been. And so I think that if you position Mr. Terrific in the role kind of a genius playing buddy with the government, like, I think you can make Mr. Terrific like a C-list roadie, kind of, not military style, but a scientific, version. I think that's pretty cool. But I've always been a fan of Mr. Terrific and his fighting style and his tools that they uses with the little pads. I always thought it was cool, and I think that it can be done well. I just don't think all of these characters are going to get major roles in the movie. I think it's going to be like more of a Superman, like having these many interactions in the film, and that to me I love. Kind of like when we watched The Flash in the beginning, where the movie starts and the Flash is interacting with Batman and Wonder Woman, and then we see Superman stopping a freaking volcano. I love stuff like that. So that's kind of how I think we are going to see it. I really don't think they're going to have a part to play in the grand scheme of the Superman story.
By the way, you just sold me on Green Lantern, and I think that you're 100% right, especially because James Gunn said we don't need a Superman origin story. We've seen that enough. And when it comes to Green Lantern, most people have only seen it once, if at all. And when they did, we're talking about the Ryan Reynolds Green Lantern movie, which obviously everyone hated. So, they could tell that again. I hope they take inspiration from the Jeff Johns Green Lantern series. If you're looking for a Green Lantern comic series to get into it, that is like the definitive Hal Jordan Green Lantern series. It's definitely regarded as the best Green Lantern comic series probably ever. Definitely of Hal Jordan, but probably in general.
I agree. I agree. So, and like I like the casting of Hawk Girl. I think it's very different, but I think it will work. And making them of Mexican. I think the girl's Mexican. I'm not sure, but making it of that Hispanic type of descent seems fine to me.